And welcome to an all-new session of SCNS Live Plays Something.
Yeah!
Musical chairs, D&D, whatever our hearts desire.
We already did that episode,
Oh,
I think.
we did. It
Yeah.
was fun for me. You guys were a bunch of idiots running around.
TV.
That's what we do.
I'm Kat. I'm your dungeon master. We're drinking regular ciders.
Actually, we are.
Meads. And none of them have any alcohol. Yeah, and then we have the rest of the players. We have Jason playing Alabroth. We have Mia playing Ronnie. We have Cass playing Octavia. We have somebody. Christian.
Oh, mystery.
I'm out. You don't see me. Azra. Christian playing Azra, if I didn't say that, and Cora playing Rhoda. Yay. And we also have lots of cool, totally real products to hawk.
Oh, yes. Oh, you want to hear about the latest product from JTX Industries? Now, one thing that we've been doing in the lab and everything, everyone has these very nice, like, look at this. This is lovely dice bag. Christian's mother knitted us some. Very, very nice.
Crocheted.
I know, right? Crocheted. I'm sorry. I don't know. But our research shows that
Knitting can be done by a machine. Crocheting has to be done by hand.
So far.
anyway, our research has shown that while these are nice and everything, you can't really see the contents inside, and we all want to see our dice. So we here at JTX Industries have a new product, these custom dice bags that we are coming out with. Cora, this one is actually for you. Look at that.
It has your name
for an
on
extra
it.
price, yes, we can engrave your name on the package, on the bag itself. Isn't that just great? These are retailing for only $29.99. Totally, it actually has a patented zip closure, is what we're calling it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
so
a
you
zip.
can really lock your dice in.
Exactly. Thank you. That's
Lock in
actually
the
good.
flavor.
I'm
Zip and then
gonna
lock it.
write that down.
Lock in the
That's a good
flavor of
tagline.
the click clack.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's just a new product we're offering. Clear dice bags. This is space age
Totally
plastic
silent.
right here. They used this on the space shuttle.
Hold on, I can put my dice in my bag without touching them and cursing them.
And that's actually something
Genuinely
yeah.
try rolling through plastic for a session.
Also sanitary. Just that's something we thought about.
We're not going to talk about how that
Anyway, yeah.
looks
And
like I'm picking up a dog.
It's
Look at that, and you can
last
see
resort
your
before we
dice.
burn all of Cora's
You know what
dice.
you're bringing. Look at that. And it can be colorful. It's really nice. Anyway, moving on. Let's go over to the recast.
All right, just the highlights. The Changeling is maybe outside of Strassus. Nimbo is absolutely adorable. We're about to go to the airplane. No, to just outside of the airplane, the vacation airplane. The airplane vacation spot next to the airplane. The Citadel of Ice and Steel is in the airplane, and we're going to the vacation spot where the Jinn go outside of the airplane. We were told that we must be very impressed by Ronnie's mom. It's just like a Jinn thing, and we actually got to the vacation spot out of the airplane. And it was covered in snow, but there was weird like fog that was there, and then it wasn't, and the sun was shining, but only in certain spots. It was covered in snow.
Also, you were told it was an air gin thing.
I'd like to point out that Dad didn't do a promo video. I rolled a 20.
Oh.
It's not wise to use them up. Let's see.
I used up that 6.
Yep.
Oh, let's see.
And we have new dice provided by Reaper.
So cute.
I also have dice from Reaper, but I also have these yellow dice that were provided to me by a banana man.
Yes.
Excuse me.
I rolled a 2.
It doesn't work.
Yep, already cursed. Got it.
I'm gonna start getting you different kinds of gloves.
Yeah, there was a dude with a giant plush banana, and if you walked up to him and like, "Oh, you're the banana man," he would take a picture of you holding his like big fluffy banana, and then he would give you a little like Ziploc baggie with some dice, some banana
cool.
candies.
Didn't have a
if I
banana
can
pin
find
or
it.
something?
Yeah, it had a little banana
pendant.
pin.
You
Like a
just
little
had to hold
pendant.
his banana for
You just
it.
had to hold
His
his banana.
fluffy banana.
Oh, it also had a little ribbon
His
that
fuzzy
says
banana.
banana for scale.
Yes, a ribbon for your little badge.
Yeah. So also the banana was really soft, and I'm sorry.
And it was.
He also
But
had
with
like
the right
banana keychains
manipulation.
to give to some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little banana joke for all of you guys.
Yeah, funny enough, both of the dice sets are yellow, so...
Makes
Awesome.
sense.
Or bullet number.
Banana dice.
So, you guys are walking up to the non-Citadel big building of ice and steel, and the closer you get, the more you start to be able to work out why they call it that. It's ice and steel. You don't immediately see any like staircases or any obvious way that you can ascend said tower.
We're just gonna have to Barbie this.
Alabroth upon seeing that goes, oh, ice and steel. Good,
Yes.
right?
Are the windows frosted?
It looks like a weird goth like Christmas celebration.
Oh, jeez.
In that it's all these like pointy, you know how like Gothic architecture is a bunch of like points, but also a bunch of very intricate windows. It's kind of like that, except instead of the windows, it's all the window frames have a lot of intricate things, but it's just open air through them, which kind of makes sense. That, yeah, there's nothing that looks like stained glass, except there's a bunch of like kind of like illusionary type of effects where it does kind of have like colored light and stuff that come through different angles. It's undoubtedly, if a humanoid was to try and like reproduce any of this, it would be very expensive, but it's just like almost garishly over the top.
Do we just walk in?
You said we don't really even see a place to walk in, right?
As you get
Walk through the
closer,
window. It's not there.
you do see gates. They are not closed. And you see a couple of like little like tornado-y things on either side that you would guess to be some sort of protection or something. And
Lawn decorations.
Clouds are kind of like lawn decorations for
Sky. For the sky, yes.
Yeah.
so you approach, and as you get like up to it, do you try and walk through? Do you?
Does Azra have? It would be kind of dumb to cast detect magic on a bunch of standstill tornadoes next to the fence, right?
Go for it.
I would like to
Is this magical?
try to address one of the tornadoes.
Okay, how do you do that?
I'll get up closer to it and go, hello! Am I speaking to a tornado? Hi!
You kind of wave at it, and there's like this pause that's only the briefest of time, but appears to take forever for Alabroth, who just walked up to a tornado. And then it just kind of mimics your wave. And then as you kind of react to that, it, without any apparent warning, engulfs you. It grows
Help me!
in size.
Help me! Please! Get this off of me!
Pull out my bow staff.
Someone with a strength score, help me!
Is it harming me? Do I feel like it's hurting me?
You do not, and as the rest of you, like, you pull out your bow staff and you start to react to that, Nimbo walks to the other one. He hasn't said anything. He's not always super bright. And it engulfs him too, but he looks very calm as he walks up to it and kind of like nods at it, and then it does the same thing to him, and after a second, not a whole like action, a couple of seconds, it kind of releases, and he's like, he looks at you guys and he's like, I don't know, some sort of scan or something. It's normal though. And then it backs off of you, and you actually feel kind of like, it's like a cool breeze after the effect.
It got under my armor.
Must be quite
Going
pleasant.
in.
I will also do that.
Admittedly,
I'll wait my turn.
It
Azra
didn't,
tightens the drawstring around her pants.
it didn't
And then-
feel bad. Just Wait, what is Azra wearing? Or would Azra have like a Marilyn Monroe moment?
Like Azra looks a lot like she's got like a vest that comes down into like I guess like a long
Like a
robe,
duster.
like a duster, but she's wearing pants under that.
Okay, I didn't want to be like the old cheesecake put on over the air vent.
It feels decidedly to Azra like that wasn't a solution for anything, because it feels very like deliberate that it still is all up in your pants, but not necessarily invasive. Is there sound?
Oh, that's actually very good.
Yeah.
I don't know if the wind gets to decide whether being in my pants is invasive or not.
That's. I mean, it's kind of like, does a doctor get to decide? Yes and no. They know how normal it is for them to be in there.
I'm pretty sure all of us have stepped over an air vent that was blowing really strong and probably stayed there for a moment or two.
How many air vents do you
Octavia's
think were
essentially
in?
wearing palazzo pants, so that's
Then you'd be
not what
fine.
happens.
Yeah, Octavia has like an uncomfortable moment where they keep like the pants like creep up over her knees, and she's like, "Hey."
No one's ever seen that.
It's very much like an Amish woman. It's like the ankle. Oh no!
No.
My, what big calves you have!
Yeah. I was had sex in the dark.
What? Cool.
I was had sex in the dark.
Both times.
Never with the.
Anyway,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
so yeah,
I'm sure Ronnie doesn't feel any different.
No, it's the same.
Ronnie, it is very much like, and the normal people not. It's like when you find out all the ADHD specific things that are part of your personality, and you're like, that doesn't happen to you guys.
To everyone.
And you're like, oh, so other people don't want to jump into the canal. They don't deal with that.
So when someone dares you to walk in the snow in bare feet, that's not your immediate reaction. Is of course I will.
I don't know what kind of idiot would like.
I just assume
No,
everyone
dare
has to
somebody
do
else to
everything on
walk in
purpose.
Definitely not what happened to
No
Cass after I walked in the snow bear foot and thought it was actually really cool. Kind of weird, crinkly feeling.
It
Anyway,
was very cool.
Yeah.
some people don't like adventure. So, yeah. So
why they
then
become
you go through and Nimbo kind of looks at you guys and he's like, anybody else want to? No. Probably, you don't even, never mind. Hello!
I'm sorry, what was the question you were going to ask?
He's like, I forget that nobody else has, probably other people, but not you, have done this. Yeah, anyway, don't worry about it. They're gonna,
No.
somebody will
Right,
come
what's the
down.
question?
They're little bitty, like, air elemental things. You're gonna see a lot of things
I
that
just
aren't
went
like,
into a sentient being.
well, technically it went into,
Or it was...
it didn't, it just scanned.
Intertwined, intermingled.
All I did was put its little.
Sentience might be putting it strongly.
He's like, they're like oysters. They don't have a nervous system, exactly. So they don't want anything from you.
I was gonna say it's like a slime.
Well, I mean,
I'm decidedly
we know they weren't slimy.
disturbed.
Do they make pet? No.
Oh, I am. Can we go?
Do they make what?
I'm just getting a wealth of information.
No, why would they make pearls?
Oysters make pet.
Oysters do what?
They make.
Limbo!
We're all getting a wealth of information we did
You're
not
from
get.
the ocean. Like, come on, bud.
Get it together.
So he's kind of looking at you, and for a second he's forgotten his nervousness, and all of a sudden this like little like, I don't want to say like Dobby, like, because Dobby's story is a little sad, but like kind of a little like looks a little bit like Nimbo. His giant like ears and a dark blue little tiny little, it's a Ifrit, I think, technically, but just like a little goblin almost looking air creature kind of walks out. Clearly was sleeping and just walks out. It's about 2.5 feet tall and rubbing his, he doesn't exactly have eyes, it's just kind of like clouds of little billowing smoke but not in a super creepy way. It's just like almost like a sunglasses effect that you know that eyes would normally be back there, but they're obscured. And he's kind of rubbing it and interrupting the smoke as it comes up and comes out. And he's like, yeah, hi. Mortals. Hello.
How do you do?
Yes, greetings.
He's kind of inclining his head around as if he can see. You don't know. And Nimbo's like, hi, and the thing actually lets out a small yelp and takes half a step backwards, and he goes, Master Nimbo, hello. Haven't we talked about volume?
Oh, they've met.
And Nimbo takes a step back and he's like, sorry. Is my mom here? And is Ronnie's mom here? Kind of gestures back towards you, and the thing kind of looks around, and he's like, your mom is here. Who are you?
My name is Ronnie.
My name is Flip.
Flip.
Mm-hmm.
I like that name. My mother's name is Saphira.
He takes a step back and he kind of looks and looks as shocked as he can, and looks at you, and you wonder for a second what happened there, and he goes, was Saphira? You said her name was Saphira. Did something happen
I don't know, but she might have changed it.
since last night?
I haven't
You probably weren't
seen
here.
her.
Since last night, have you spoken with...
Well, not since last night.
Have they remained
He
since
looks
last night?
equally confused as all of you, and he's like, what?
Her name is Saphira.
Oh, she's probably still asleep.
Huh.
I mean, as much as they sleep. Did you guys... And Nimbo goes, yeah, we went through the... Yeah, it's fine. And he kind of looks out, and he kind of like waves at one of the little tornado things. And again, it just kind of mimics... it's not even, it's just a small pillar comes out and seems to rotate for a second, goes back, and he's like, alright, well,
So what was what function did they serve? Was there a test that we passed? What would have happened if we had failed?
Yes, we're not in the habit of explaining how you could cheat any of our security measures, but
That's not what I was asking.
if you weren't
cheating.
supposed to be here, you
Assume it
wouldn't
would
be
scoop you up
here.
and spit you out all the way down.
And he sits there and he's like, oh yes, mortals. See, your lives follow certain... Do you know what an air current is?
Yes.
He looks a little skeptical. He goes, see, your lives follow these paths that you cannot see. So if you weren't supposed to be here, you wouldn't be here. Destiny, nothing.
I'm detecting a current of something being blown right now.
Octavia, is it?
Yes?
You sound uncertain.
No, I'm certain. Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure you've ever been certain about anything.
Excuse me, how did you know our compatriot?
You just went through an invasive thing you didn't know?
You gathered that information?
Doesn't seem out of
I'm
the
sorry,
ordinary.
your name's usually a secret.
Can you see our destiny?
What?
That is a rather irreverent question. I have no eyes.
I'm going to use gift of gab. And just take back the question and be like,
Is that your once per day?
So you do.
Panicked and was just like, nope. I just backed out.
You take it back and you see that he still looks at you expectantly for a split second
Okay.
and was like, I saw that going differently. And he does say, I saw that.
Octavia takes a full step back. And just,
I like him.
But stay here. Azra starts to say something, and he does pause.
No. This is not in character. I'm considering.
Confused.
I am considering casting a detect thoughts on a party member, and Azra's having a crisis. She's going to make a wisdom saving throw for herself. She's going to cast detect thoughts. She would like to cast detect thoughts on Albroth.
Oh.
Okay.
That would be
Surface level thoughts. Which, you have surface level thoughts. What is Albroth thinking on the very surface?
well, I think he needs to fail the wisdom saving throw
Not
first, right?
technically.
For the first level.
What?
It's only the wisdom saving throw if
Isn't that
you dig
wild?
deeper.
Only the wisdom
Yes,
saving throw if you dig in, right?
Yeah.
Wow, you
So
right.
what is he thinking about just on the very surface?
Specifically, Azra is doing this in response to Flip saying that, looking at Albroth and saying your name is usually a secret.
Or our
No,
names.
our
He's
name.
Oh, he said
No, not
No?
that. No, you misinterpreted.
Oh, okay.
Our name's usually a secret. It was more of a sarcastic comment.
Oh, A-R-E? Our
Yeah.
name's usually a secret?
Yeah.
I thought you said your name's usually a secret. Never mind.
Okay.
Rewind.
Okay.
Gift of
No
time
worries.
spell.
I'm just so long. You thought you had my finger.
So,
Yeah, I thought there was like a mystery here. Okay.
Azra,
Put out a
like,
magnifying
I
glass
get
and
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some Scooby-Doo.
Can't find your glasses. I can't see without my glasses.
Can't be seen without my glasses.
What accent?
Johnny Bravo.
Oh,
In
okay.
the crossover, she goes, I can't see without my glasses. He goes, my glasses, I can't be seen without my glasses.
So he
love
kind
Johnny
of
Bravo.
turns on his heel after staring at Octavia for a minute and kind of marches back, and Nimbo kind of oddly just kind of plops on the ground cross-legged, and he looks at all of you and he goes, sometimes it's a while.
He went to
What?
go get someone?
Yes, Bronny, your mother's
And
here.
Nimbo goes, at least, yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay, my friend? Your mother's here. Just.
Oh yeah,
Are
how are you?
Are you okay?
Are you nervous?
I literally do that in
question.
character, probably like everything. You good, my friend? Breathe.
So far, so good.
Breathe.
How
There you
if
go.
that's not true, how demonstrably false it is, and if it is true, like
As was going to detect
that's a
thoughts.
different question.
Yeah, well, and
All of a sudden,
Ronnie
somebody's not
has
thinking about it anymore.
no read on Flip. Like, he's never encountered anything like Flip. So he has no... He has zero read on whether or not, like, that's true, that she's here, and it might even be, like, just another Jinn who's also named that, because he doesn't know whether or not that happens, but he knows it happens with other people, like on the ground. We technically are still in the same plane.
Yeah, we're not in the airplane.
In the meantime, we're literally asking you, are you okay? How you feeling?
Nimbo's kind of looking at you like he knows that you might have like questions or thoughts, but he can't backtrack him into it what the most obvious questions are. So he's just kind of like, he just kind of sits there quietly and lets other people.
Yeah.
Nervous?
Yeah. Not a whole lot else going on.
Okay, just.
I'm gonna
Buck up,
just-
my friend.
I'm gonna just offer my hand to hold.
I'll hold your hand. We should sit down.
You all sit down. Nimbo takes out a bunch of marbles, but it's clear he doesn't know how to play marbles. And he just kind of rolls them around to you guys. Like, and he's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's a long time. The priorities are a little bit.
I'm just gonna kind of wander in the immediate area. Just
I'm gonna show Nimbo how to play marbles.
Like, I want to look around, just not going too far as to get, like, knifed or anything, you know.
Oh, he understands pretty well.
It's not hard.
I think
It's not a hard game.
if Alroth is gone, you're just like wandering for like 5 minutes or so and no one has shown up, I think Azra will get up and go join Alroth.
Yeah, I'm not going far. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, you're just like pacing around.
I'm kind of like looking around a little bit.
Okay.
As far as I can see without.
There is like a big archway. You notice that as soon as Nimbo had talked to Flip, he didn't really like approach it closer. You don't know why.
That's where Flip went, though.
Yeah, he went back inside.
Okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit closer, maybe to see if I can hear or like be nosy. I'm literally being nosy right now.
You don't seem to hear anything. You don't see any signs of any people or Flip. It looks to be dead silent, and inside is a little bit obscured by the same kind of cloudy textures outside. It's kind of like in video games where they're like, we haven't rendered all this background stuff yet.
Cloud of war.
So you're going to have to wait a second. Kind of vibes, but yeah, it's very, very quiet in there. But
All right, if I didn't find anything, I guess I'll just walk back over to the group. Just
on the outside is really interesting. You notice, like, as you make a perception check.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
That's a 21.
he's gonna pull up.
And that's on my new dice.
Nothing.
Nice.
He has
Nice.
specifically to like cover him up.
As you look, you start to notice that
It's a scarf, but it's a really, really big scarf.
you start to notice the outside doesn't exactly like really align with human buildings. Some of the windows are kind of like half in the ground. And it seems to be like an exterior that's
Eerie.
almost shown for you guys to match your expectations of what a building is. But assuming he is being fully nosy, if he touches it at some point, it is solid. So
Totally
it's like-
touch it.
Yeah, it's solid. It doesn't
Okay.
appear to be like illusory
Yeah.
per se.
Just kind of with that claw, kind of. You know, I can sacrifice a claw.
Yeah, nothing happened. It feels exactly like if you touch one of the. It's kind of. It is ice and steel kind of blended and almost like chocolate and vanilla ice cream swirled together.
I look back at
points.
everybody as I do it like. It's solid.
Did you think it wouldn't be?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. This
As
is
he's
all
kind
very
of
strange.
dragging his claw across it a little bit, it touches the ice, and the ice like immediately cracks and starts to crumble. And in the split second before you completely freak out, Nimbo goes.
I go,
That's mean.
and I walk back over to the group.
Nimbo looks at you and goes, "It was
What?
just an illusion. I couldn't help it." It's so funny.
I didn't do anything.
You have the energy of a 9-year-old
That's
who
just,
broke something.
That's just, not just bad architecture. Right? That's not my fault.
You turn around, the cracks are completely gone. It's fine.
Oh.
Nimbo goes, first time with minor illusion. Never mind. And right about
Minor
that
illusion.
time, you guys hear the sound of, you know what rain sounds like when it's far off? You can kind of hear the wind, and it's got that vibe of this isn't quite right. And you start to hear that, and then it increases to like almost this like low rumble. And you, Nimbo, when he hears that, stands up. And I kind of assume you guys probably do the same.
Yeah.
Straighten up.
Everything.
And you look up and you see what looks like a small, like, wave of like 25 things or people of some sort kind of almost build up against the door and then all spill out at once. And you look around and there's all these like vaguely transparent, almost human looking in a range of tones from like, you can say Ronnie to Nimbo plus like sunset color kind of spill out. And you look around and they're just everywhere. There's like 25 people and they all kind of like surround you, but not in a surrounded. They kind of spread out as they come close to you, and they're all around. And you're like, oh.
Azra remembers what was said earlier about needing to look like you're impressed, and Azra goes, ooh, as she's surrounded.
Make a performance check.
Yeah, it's definitely... Oh, no. The falseness bleeds through.
They kind of... You hear from them an almost like kind of mocking, breezy, ooh. And like, you're not being blatantly, seriously mocked, but there is a vibe of like, okay, well, that's not how you do that, I guess. And then the crowd parts a little, and this very tall, like 6'3", sparkly blue with almost like a light, almost like a sunshiny light blonde, like huge hair full of tresses and little kind of almost tied into these windy like things, and very distinctly separated from each other wafts of hair come through, and yeah, she kind of comes through, feet not quite touching the ground, but still with the appearance of feet, kind of floats through and is like, where is... And her face looks at you, and she goes, oh, Ronnie, you made it. And she just walks right up to you and then, like, engulfs you, not unlike the tornadoes. And just, yeah, how does Ronnie react?
He will always return a hug. Other than that, he is too surprised to react further.
For a second, like, you have this feeling of like, oh, this is the thing. Am I doing the thing? And then after like a long minute, she lets go, and then kind of like looks into your eyes. She does have like these kind of like sparkly blue eyes right in the center, very deep blue, and you're like, this is going good kind of vibes. And then she goes, Alabroth, you made it. And she engulfs Alabroth in the longest, warmest hug.
Greetings.
Yes, you're here now. And she pats you on the back of the head. And as Ronnie kind of sits there, like, she goes up and she goes, Octavia, you made it, like, one by one, with the exact same intro. Does the same thing and doesn't really seem to notice how you react to each one of you.
Octavia, just go with it.
I'm gonna give her the formal elvish court greeting.
She just laughs.
Okay.
And then she gets to Nimbo and she goes, Nimbo, and she holds out like for a fist pounding from Nimbo. And he goes, haha, and they bump fists, and he kind of does a thunder noise. And she's like, yes, oh yes, and of course, as always, Flip, I'm so glad you're here. It gives Flip this long engulfing hug, and you guys are like,
Everybody?
everybody.
Okay.
I think she's delightful.
Rana enjoys it.
I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
These are how families work. And Nimbo's kind of looking around, and she's just like, oh, your mother is still asleep, you know how she gets. And he goes, yeah. Does she have, can I? And she's like, you can go talk to whoever's up there. I think it's, well, what was it, Puff is up there watching.
I lean over to Ronnie. Did you tell her about this?
And she steps back and she goes, everyone, this is one of my sons. And this is, and he introduces each one of you and says, "We're so glad you're all here."
Who's the son? Flip?
No, Ronnie.
Oh, I saw you gesturing that way and I didn't realize
She's,
you were...
introducing Ronnie, I think, to all the translucent people.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she goes, "Well, that was fun. Is there anything else? Was there?"
I'd love.
Oh, yes.
I'd love to hear about you. I've heard some stories, but not that many. I'm sure you've had a very interesting life.
Oh, right. Is he dead?
No.
Oh. Well, I'm not great with the lifespan. Anyway, you've heard it, everyone. There will be a banquet. We should do that, after everyone gets a good night around. Oh, right. You probably want that mortal thing with the time. Okay. Yes. So we'll do it tonight. And, looks like I won, clearly. And,
Congratulations.
yes.
Yeah, congratulations.
To you too, thank you.
Thank you.
And she just turns around and walks back inside.
I don't have any idea what she wants.
Just give it a minute.
Mom?
Ronnie,
She turns around and fixes you kind of with a glance and goes, "Your mom isn't here.
Sorry,
She's quite busy with the accounting, I think." Anyway,
is my
just
mom?
like walks. She goes, "Oh, you dears are so easily confused. None of your moms are here, except for, technically, I suppose, Ronnie's. Okay, so tonight then." And she walks back in and
I was
Flip
under the
goes,
impression Nimbo's mom was also here.
she's still asleep.
Oh,
Right, so,
Not fully here, I guess.
Flip, were you gonna, and he goes, yeah, I guess so. Yes, you can follow her, and you kind of automatically start to walk, and he goes, "In a moment, she likes to walk up the stairs."
Yes.
of course.
So you guys kind of get ushered in, and she's not walking up the stairs. She's kind of floating in approximation of these grand circular, spirals that goes up. One of them, as you kind of look at them, one of them has steps that are thoroughly impractical for any, mortal person to actually walk up, because they're kind of those alternated steps where they're only thick at one end?
Oh,
It's kind of like that, but in impossible proportions and
so-
sizes and whatever. And
Very
it's and the other side is
More
just
likely to make you fall down the stairs.
kind of impractical steel stair, ice stairs to the And you get the vibe that these are mostly aesthetic, and almost everything here can float or fly in some way. But she goes up to the top. Do you guys follow her?
We
Yes.
attempt to, I guess.
Yeah, whenever Whip gives us the go-ahead.
Yeah, he waits until she's an appropriate amount ahead and then kind of gestures at you guys to follow her. It is impractically long staircase. It goes around way too many spirals. Too many of the stairs are way too flat, and as you kind of look around, there doesn't appear to be anything in the first 25 floors.
Brana is very tempted to just go angel mode and fly up the stairs.
It's up to you.
He's not going to do that.
So you guys get to the top. And you have that.
flying seems to be preferred around here.
True, but it doesn't last all day. So.
You have that very sitcom.
Oh yeah, Ronnie can just float up the stairs and like, "Hey guys."
Once per day.
Nimbo's like, "I fucking hate this part. I guess I'll hang out." No. I'll probably go hang out with my mom. Or whatever.
Is she
I said she's
entertaining when
sleeping.
she's
They
sleeping?
tend to party. And he goes, "Oh, I don't fucking know." But they all have their own little, areas or whatever, so I'm not going to be in her bedroom.
You've... Go ahead.
You hate what part?
The
walking up the
nothing
stairs?
part,
The
and the
nothing
stairs part,
Okay.
and the waiting, if there's... I don't know. I don't like a lot of times where there's nothing that's happening.
Was it always going to be like this?
Sounds like a destination question for one of the others. What do you mean?
It seems they don't seem to behave normally. I suppose you told us to be impressed, but it doesn't seem like she cares. I don't
Understand, Octavia, that her life is very long-lived. To our lives, to her, probably seem just a brief
still respect
occurrence.
you.
Understandable, yes, but our lives are probably a brief occurrence to them. It's not so much. It borders on rude, but it's just the way they are. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying that's with long-lived beings, and we live such short lives.
She's an elf.
We do.
Okay.
Nimbo goes, sure, they're basically immortal. They're immortal, pretty much. So,
Do you not have
Are
anyone
elves
in the
long-lived,
elven-
or are they immortal?
No, that's
elves are long-lived.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you not have anyone within the elven community that might look on others with shorter lifespans in the same manner?
I do, yes.
Well,
We
it's,
have a name for them.
well, then you're clearly not one of them.
They're called assholes.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but considering we are guests here, and we are in search of things,
I'm
let's just...
sorry. This isn't about. I was just confused.
We're just going to go with it for now.
Nimbo's like, he goes, I told you they need to feel impressive and be impressive. If they can impress each other, then we're not anything right then. Does that make sense?
I suppose. How did she know about my mother?
Is it a secret?
No, but I don't know. It's a very odd thing to know. My parents do have secrets. Does she know my parents' secrets?
Good luck getting a straight answer on that. I don't know. What I'm able to learn about them is it's not a lot each time. Yeah, I'm gonna go wait for my mom. I thought this was going better than
I
I
have a
thought.
litany of questions.
But yeah, the only thing I can think of to tell you right now is they set a banquet tonight. It might be tomorrow night or 3 nights from now. It's probably tonight. They're not great at time.
Has Azra heard anything? Because they mentioned something about knowing destiny, and seeing the tornadoes at the gates were checking if it was our destiny to be here or not. Is there any sort of mythology Azra's learned about air Jinn being connected to destiny as well?
Roll an Arcana check.
I think it's 17.
Nice.
Minimum 17 for sure.
Airjin
19.
are, you do know that they are rumored to be the ones who most firmly believe in destiny. With a 17, I think you even recall.
19.
Oh, well then with a 19, I didn't have a barrier between those, but with a 19, you know that they have all these interns who they don't pay exactly for their work there, but that they each have come of their own free will, probably, and see it as an honor to serve with their time, blah, blah, blah. They're the most caught up with destiny. That thing about the air currents runs really deep. Wherever the wind blows is where you're supposed to be. It's about as much as you've read. You know it's part of the mythology of how they interpret life. You don't know how true it holds. Because destiny is always double-edged in that way.
Yeah. I think Az was realizing that it goes deeper than the myths that we know then. Because obviously they know stuff that they wouldn't normally. So it's more than just we believe in destiny.
Yeah, and I will say with a 19, you find yourself suspicious of if the people have visited them and managed to remain impartial about their theories and just document them, or if they got caught up in it, and thus the mythology kind of reads, if you're supposed to know, then you'll find out.
Wow.
Yeah. You're like, okay, weird. You guys are not great anthropologists. But yeah, you're led, as soon as you get up there, you do see, that's bridged into like all these separate corridors. It seems like there's a bunch of like big doorways and there's hallways and more big doorways. It kind of seems like each one was free to make it, each doorway try to have the standing they thought they were entitled to, but how they went about it was very different. Like, it's like, be like all kids of roughly the same age trying to pick bedrooms. They try and pick the one that's the most special, but you can all interpret that to be like, this one is actually the
It's
best.
Encanto.
Yeah.
And somewhere in the middle, Flip leads you, or kind of chases you up the stairs, I guess, and eventually, like, you didn't see which door she went into, and right as you're like, Flip's like, yeah, it's this one, and you see actually written, Primordial doesn't have a lot of writing to it. It's not primarily a written language, but to the extent that they have runes, you actually do see the names are beside the doors on almost the only thing that seems standardized here is little like name plates. And he shows you to her door and goes, yes, we'll do something about all this. Wouldn't worry about it.
Gesturing at...
All of you. You know How to Train Your Dragon, where he's like, we'll do something about this. And he's like, you just gestured to all of me. It's very much that. And he's like, yeah, but you can, yeah, it's all good.
Question.
Yeah.
If the banquet doesn't occur tonight in mortal timekeeping, is there somewhere we might be able to go get food?
Oh, they'll bring up whatever
Okay.
you need. You're not gonna be like alone. There's more.
Okay.
There's more people in there. There's always more people in there. Or what you would call people.
Are there other mortals that happen to be visiting now, perhaps?
There have been other mortals here.
Not currently.
I don't know. We don't keep up with when people leave. Anyway.
Surely you notice when they stay, though. No?
They leave when they're supposed to. I don't really pay any attention to it.
Well, I was already rolling your eyes at that.
You guys have been here like half an hour and already this is exhausting.
I don't know, Brana is just enjoying this because he's just accepted he's going to know absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Brody is
yeah,
already resigned to roll with everything.
they'll like, in some ways, like, you find yourself, like, in some ways it reflects your own, like, we'll deal with that if it comes up kind of vibes. But, like, to this extra degree that it goes past the point of being convenient and becomes an inconvenience for the people around it. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm going back to bed.
Okay.
Oh,
Enjoy
dreams.
Enjoy your rest.
And he goes, dreams. And he walks off.
Ronnie, I have a litany of questions.
He did crack the door to your mother's place open for you before he went. Like, there was no knocking or anything, but it doesn't feel as invasive or unexpected for you guys to walk inside.
Yeah. So
Okay, follow Ronnie.
So you walk in, and inside, to an extent that doesn't make sense regarding like the outside of the door, like the inside has impossibly high ceilings for what you walked into. It's kind of similar to the outside, except that ice and like substance are a lot more elegantly intertwined. It's almost like a marbling, and instead of steel, it is sapphires that kind of line the inside of the wall. They have kind of these irregular edges that curve in and out and intertwine and go up to the ceiling. You notice it's a little bit warmer in here, and you look over and it's not quite as gaudy. It's almost like a
little more elegant.
Yeah, like she understands that the walls and the way that she has it designed are the features themselves, so she doesn't like hang a bunch of stuff over it. You see these little corridors. They're not labeled or anything. There are doorways, but not doors in most of it. And there's this little like, there's a full bath area. There doesn't seem to be any kind of extra like accommodations, but there's like the main door on the other side is clearly a bedroom of some sort, and then there's even like a small kitchen area, and that part is just all ice. It's one big ice box.
Is there anywhere that seems to be clearly like a place to lounge and chat? That seems very on brand for them.
There is like a kind of massive lounge that is just like the floor. It's like a sunken couch almost with like, and it's all just white. It's almost like these pillows, except it looks like clouds, but they feel like pillows, and just kind of this massive thing with a like moving mural up above it.
That's cool. Okay, since everyone is probably kind of following me, I'll just go in there and be like, let's have a seat.
Bronna does not need to be told twice.
I'm checking the pillows.
4.
They're cloudy and soft.
They're extremely cloudy and soft.
I'm very inquisitive and nosy.
Make sure there aren't any Cheetos that fell back there.
Pink
Oh,
chicken
that's
Cheetos.
Checking to see how soft they are on a scale of cloud to
They're
cloud.
a little too soft, maybe.
The Cheetos Puffs,
Like-
not the crunchy ones.
I beg your pardon. I'm used to the lap of luxury. Okay, maybe not.
I mean, you don't usually sleep on a bed, but whatever.
You had questions?
A litany of them.
Hang on.
Was that response normal?
I don't have a gauge for what's normal here.
I suppose Ronnie is probably just as confused as we are. I mean, Ronnie's
Are
here to
you-
learn about
With the whole,
Snow.
that's one of mine. I mean, she's clearly aware of your existence and has observed at some point, but did anyone else get the feeling of just like a collection of maybe children?
I'm not sure, but I feel like Nimbo kind of mentally prepped us for this prior.
He did me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know shit.
True.
There's like I don't really have a ton of hold on. Kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was like,
Are you aware of any other siblings you might have?
I mean, it sounds like they get around.
I'm not aware of any siblings that I have, but I kind of assumed that was a possibility. Because Jinn don't really age and they don't really die. It seems unlikely that they would be the sort to have a single child and no more.
I know for the majority of us, it seems a bit off-putting at best. Most of us come from families that we know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I know my dad, which, like, Nimbo kind of prepped me that, like, while she's my mom, she's a stranger to me. And I might not be a stranger to her, but that doesn't really change that we don't know each other. And that if I was looking for parental affection, I was going to find it at home, not here. I was kind of just wanting to find out a little more about me. I suppose it kind of stung for everyone to get the same warm embrace, but only for like a second, because I wasn't expecting to be treated special. And I'm glad that y'all are equally as welcome. And also, that might be, like, the way that they seem to be might be why I'm content to just go with the flow, but because no one here has any real initiative, it's kind of annoying in a way that it's not when it's just me doing whatever y'all want to do.
Makes sense.
I was expecting her to treat you special.
I was prepared for that to not be the case. Because, I mean, even if I would have liked to be treated special, that might have felt a little fake, because she doesn't know me and I don't know her.
Seems like she knows more about us than we ever had a chance of knowing about her.
A bit off-putting, wasn't it?
Yeah. If there's one good thing I noticed, Nimbo reminded us that these Jinn are constantly looking to impress, and the last thing that your mother said before she left us was that she won.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I just kind of rolled with it.
I mean...
Apparently I won too, though, so...
I might be, I'm guessing here, but perhaps you are already impressive.
I mean...
Your arrival has impressed the other Jinn.
That's...
Perhaps she gets so few visits from her offspring in this place. One actually made it here.
I mean, it also could be that I look a lot like her.
I do see where you get your good looks from.
Oh, thank you.
The blue.
Well, not just the blue, but
I'm a little less sparkly, but there's...
I thought it was more the constant breeze.
You're not fully see-through.
Yeah, I'm pretty solid.
Opaque.
Very opaque.
You guys hear almost like a throat clearing, but a little like thunderous coming from the doorway.
Oh.
Like this little like noise. And you're like,
Turn around and look at that immediately.
yeah, you look at the entrance and you see there, like, it looks kind of like a cartoon cloud of when people like tangle with each other and they do the cloud around with a little like
There's like the streams going around the cloud.
with little like fake cartoony lightning bolts in it.
Like a proton.
Fully that, but with a face. And he goes, I didn't want to interrupt. Hi, I'm Zephyr. Hello.
Hello, Zephyr.
I help out.
Cool.
I don't always look like this. She thought it was funny.
I think it's cute.
Who's she?
How do you say it in here? Hi, Saphir.
Saphira.
Yeah.
Say it in what? In here?
No, like
Oh, that's right.
Are you a servant of Saphira?
Sure. I mean, I do stuff, but like servants are like compelled to like do things. I just want to do like a friend who's not equal
like an
with her
intern?
and who always hangs out, just does whatever she would want.
An intern. Hello.
Right. Intern. Yes. Hi. I learned common yesterday. I'm not great at it.
you're doing well.
You're doing quite well.
I'm impressed.
Immediate tears.
little raindrops. Oh.
Like with the whole like string with the little drops at the end of it that just kind of fall and then disappear before they hit the ground.
There, just it's okay.
No, I'm good. I've never heard that before. Is that not emotion? Do you like... I don't think I'm talking. Right? Okay, so have you heard of it's bath time. Do you like baths? Is that better?
Sounds wonderful.
Considering you have a large receptacle.
Receptacle?
Well, but yeah, bath
I mean, I don't, but
Do the
Saphira has a
Whittle want
great
a
one.
bath?
We have rubber duckies
Cool.
and alcohol. I don't really know, like...
Thank you.
What the thing is, and also like you guys might not know this. Some of you people have different parts, so we can do it by the different parts or all separate. You guys look so confused. Okay, so some people are men. And some are women, and some of the time it doesn't like match up, and some of them are not either one, and some of them change. So, oh wow, I don't know how to explain this. Okay, men.
That's good. That's good.
It's okay.
Guys,
Bath time.
I too am confused by it at
would you
times.
guys like
Sure.
to bathe
Yeah.
communally or separate?
Don't care. I don't care anymore. I just the
I
alcohol.
feel no
the
way.
alcohol sounds absolutely lovely. Please.
He kind of like with his little like
On-
GIF arms
On the
reaches
assumption that we
inside
don't care.
himself and hands out everybody
Yeah.
a fully real cup of something.
Just down the.
It's honey mead. It's always honey mead.
Hey.
And he goes, "Do you need another?"
Yes, please.
Perhaps a larger one.
Are you feeling confused? Alcohol is a thing.
Totally got it. Totally got it. Thank you.
She's
Very
aware that
confused.
it's poison. She's looking for that.
It is weird. Okay,
But she can expel poison through her skin.
Gross.
you all do that.
Oh.
Sweating.
So to the baths.
Let's go to the baths.
Yes.
Lead the way.
You head over towards the bathing area. It's just a big like hot tub kind of environment. And true to his word, the surface of the water is covered with every type of bath toy that you could picture. There are too many bubbles in it.
Nudity and walking.
It is the perfect temperature for each of you, wherever you kind of want that to hang out. And you guys get the little bubbles like in the sitcom that covers up all your
I'll watch one of the thing when
bits
you like
after you get in.
water.
Brana's squeaking the rubber ducky.
Ronnie is gonna clear out an area where there's no toys.
Probably shakes his head at you people, at you creatures and your dangly bits all out for everyone to see.
I'm gonna throw a rubber ducky at your head.
You have a tail.
That's
It's
yes.
like the dangly bit.
That is not that type of organ.
Zephyr speaks up helpfully. Like, okay, when they like bits.
Nope.
You don't all have tails, but some of you have like these meat tentacles.
I know, it's rather it's all unprotected and just out there. No cloaca to speak of.
I'm gonna throw another rubber duck at your face.
Just, you're the main one.
Zephyr casually picks up one of the rubber duckies and pops it in his mouth
Like,
and goes, spearmint.
Are they edible?
Yes.
Alabroth immediately picks up one and eats it.
It tastes like beef jerky. It's delicious.
Brada's gonna take like a tentative bite, like bites off one
I
of the
let
heads,
everyone know
like,
it tasted like jerky.
There's just like this rosemary lamb thing.
Ooh.
Azra
Incredible.
sniffs the closest bath toy.
It smells like bacon and like spicy, like something, some sort of pepper.
I'm gonna start looking for one that doesn't smell like meat.
Is it like
Just to
soap?
see if
'Cause
there is
The
one.
first one you pick up smells a lot like pineapple.
If there's soap, Alabroth immediately starts cleaning all the bits and because we have been on a frigging ship for days now. Immediately trying to clean all the
Yeah,
everything.
the last amount of water that Ronnie was in was salt water, so
This feels nice.
Yeah, salt water ain't gonna do it. it'll somewhat, but no. I mean, like you know that like people how they smell when they've been outside like all day.
yeah.
Yes.
Campfire.
Yes, like when you go camping. Like I
Yeah.
am trying to scrub that away right now.
Zephyr's like, okay, so. Okay, that's not. There's other stuff to eat, but like, yeah. You already know how to scrub off. Very good. There's also like lunch stuff for like later. I don't know if you guys have had lunch. After you get out, there are towels. Towels
Good.
are like these
Yep.
things. Okay.
Oh yes, get the
At
excess
this
water
point, I
off.
think
Yes.
Octavia has like a picture or something. She's like,
Is she just more disturbed by like the nudity or?
She's just, everything has been confusing from the moment she got
Okay.
I mean,
And she-
it can't be too confusing. You're
This
having things that you're familiar with explained to you as though you were a child.
Yeah. She's just like,
This is a
I'd
towel.
probably still eat one or two
Weirdly
more
annoyed.
of the rubber ducks just while
Yes, there's no
Sausage
telling.
and gravy.
You find a couple that don't taste like they smell, and these are weird. They don't taste like rubber duck. It's just some other completely different food. Like you pick up one that smells like sausage and gravy, and then you,
Apple pie.
yeah. So you're just like,
that was weird.
and he's like, sorry, like things
That probably
like,
makes
you
him
know,
stop eating them.
drying off. And also, like, a lot of this is new to me, but a lot of stuff you've seen, I don't know how to do any of it. Anyway,
Question for you, Zephyr.
yeah.
Is there any way that while we're in here, our clothes could be washed? We've had a very long and dirty journey.
Right, okay. You want me to wash them again?
Were they already washed?
He had not moved. Like, there's no fucking way, but you look over and they're all, like, folded
Pick myself up,
nearby. It smells like,
This is probably the best this has smelled in a long time.
yeah, it smells a little bit like the same stuff that makes up the bubbles, just kind of vaguely like
Okay.
a clean laundry scented candle.
Nice.
Put
Okay.
the clothing and chainmail on and yeah.
I didn't realize that they had already been cleaned. Thank you.
Sure, we like to clean stuff around here. It didn't look like they'd been cleaned in a while, so I wasn't sure if you knew about it.
Yeah, we just didn't have the right facilities to clean them.
Still had a little bit of ice dragon bit in the chainmail.
Gross.
It's hard to get out of there. Need a
I
brush.
thought it was a decoration. Anyway, yeah, and you hear a little, like, off-screen, a little, like, bell ringing, and he goes, so... And then he just, like, poofs out of existence, and you assume the bell is a call of some sort, and that you're not his highest priority.
Oh.
And you guys are left alone in various stages of getting dressed or staying undressed or whatever.
And the beverages are still around?
Azra's like, can someone bring the clothes? It's too far from the edge. Can someone?
Alabroth takes his tail and just moves it further away.
Brana will get out.
I move it closer.
Thank you, Elabroth.
Kind of like someone handing a towel, but I do it with my tail too.
Ronnie will notably spend a lot longer than he needs to just relaxing in the bath.
Brana has taken out his braids so he can actually wash his hair.
Yeah, so you guys all have, there's plenty of like little foods and stuff around. And Zephyr doesn't come back for a while.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna eat
Where's the
quite a bit. So there's food around.
There's
so,
just kind of food around, like charcuterie board kind of laid out. Each thing that's on the little boards that are around are explicitly labeled in common that's too easy to read, even though it's very basic.
Alabroth has a board in his hand, just like.
If there's one for each of us, I was probably going to grab charcuterie.
It probably wasn't meant to be,
There
but he's
are
doing it.
too many for one for each of you. They don't seem to understand scale very well.
I think they also might think that we've never experienced anything.
They're making no assumptions with us.
You know what?
I can appreciate that. Would you rather them make bad assumptions or just have no expectations?
It's funny that they know that Octavia's mother is doing accounting right now and not that we have used towels.
A little weird. It's weird, right?
I don't understand anyone.
Oh, here she comes.
We've had food, drink, and a bath.
Hold on, Octavia, are you alright?
What?
Oh, damn.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah?
Say what?
What?
Okay.
Say mom.
Wow.
Oh, no. Octavia, how much have you had to drink?
Clearly
Well,
more than she needed.
You've been putting them away, as the term
I
goes.
don't understand.
What? Oh, boy.
Is this what your accent actually sounds like?
This has happened before, right? Or was this during the body swap episode?
That was
That was
during a...
Is that canon? Was
No.
not canon. Oh, it's not.
Oh, it is?
Oh.
No.
The body swap wasn't. No.
Oh.
Damn, I wish that was canon. Anyway, I'm thinking that she's inebriated, and while I have a bit of magic that would fix that, I have no intention of casting it.
Perhaps save it for
How
when
you
we need her to be,
Octavia?
you know,
Good.
Octavia.
Good.
Good, yeah.
No, she'll be fine.
Would you like...
What are you thinking about
Yes, tell us
the
your
place?
thoughts.
So it's not what you wanted, but that's fine.
That wasn't the accent you were using.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Not great
It's
accent.
quite all over the place.
I didn't really have any expectations for what it was going to be. So I didn't really have a way that I wanted it to be.
Just chill.
Just rolling with it.
Okay.
What'd you think it was going to be like?
Thought she'd be nice to you.
I mean, she hasn't been mean, has she?
Guess not.
You know, I'd also like to say that your personality is actually very good for someone that's basically a demigod.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I'm alone here saying that most that a demigod are, well, as Octavia said, assholes.
You know I'm 17, right?
Well, you haven't lived as
He
long.
still has time to become an asshole,
Oh,
is what he's saying.
I've met some assholes that were younger. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Zephyr, like, kind of exits. You hear a door, like, creak a little bit, and then Zephyr kind of stops back by the bath area, and his arms are just, like, full of, like, dishes and laundry and all sorts of stuff. And he's like, so, is everybody ready for the banquet? You guys aren't ready at all. You can't wear that. Anyway, we have other stuff.
He's got the board in his hand. There's more food?
Right, so, those of you who are dressed, maybe take that off and put on the... Right, I didn't get you... I'll be right back. Kind of hustles out to the kitchen and comes back, and he's got, like, a pile of, like, different clothes neatly folded in his hands, and he's like, these are more appropriate for, like, a banquet. Right, so,
We'll
they're
get dressed
fully corporeal and everything. So, yeah.
We'll get dressed now. Thank you.
Veronica, like,
Ronnie's
gets
gonna help
dressed
you
to the
out of the
nines.
bath.
Could someone, like, do the thing with the hair?
what are you
Braiding?
Braid, yes, the braid. To help out Octavia. Just.
Octavia's hair is short now.
Shorter. She still wears it though.
Okay. I'll do something different with your hair. Yeah.
Would you
but I
like
am
me to
gonna
just give it a
help you
little?
get out of
Would
the
you
bath.
like me to give it a little trim to just kind of even it out?
Azra steps in between Alroth and Octavia's hair.
I'm really trying to help.
Yeah.
No.
Ronnie thinks
Try
that
to help
your
yourself.
muscles
Come
are
over
too
here with me now. I'm going
relaxed.
to make sure you
and
get
you're
your
going
How
to
long's your
sweat.
hair?
It's like down to here. You're not touching it either. I'm
making
going to
an
make sure
observation.
that your buttons are straight since you've got claws.
Excuse you, I know how to button up that. Claws help.
Are button-up shirts common in
Ah,
where you're from?
This is me trying to keep you away from over there. How about
Well.
that?
Every piece of clothing that they have laid out for you is explicitly labeled on the inside with what it is and where it goes.
Fantastic.
Well,
Shirt.
these are pants for your legs.
I do give you a brief compliment on how your hair looks today. Ah, yes, very clean.
Thank
Good color.
you. You're not getting any.
Perfect length for it to remain.
Thank you.
Could have make a beard out of that. I'm just saying, if anyone wanted to be charitable.
Surely
so
there must
what-
be.
What do our outfits look like? What
Yes.
fits have we been set up with?
They are kind of like sari-esque outfits, but they are very gaudy. Like they're encrusted with jewels and precious gemstones.
Oh, I'm
and
loving it.
They've taken the like very gorgeous, intricate embroidery of like a sari and how it might fit. They've just gone to the max with these huge murals that you can't see at all. Like, if you put them all together, they would match and be like a giant mural, but they're all these shades of blue and white and gray mostly, but just like, nobody's ever told them that's enough, maybe quit adding to it, so it's just a lot, and they are very heavy. They're not as heavy as what you guys carry around every day, so it's not a big deal. But
Too heavy for normal.
yeah, and they're also overstarched, which is not a good look for a sari. So very drapey.
So the boys and the girls all get
Yes.
saris. Love it.
But yes, they seem to know some things, but not everything. about the kids.
Ronnie will try and find a place where he can like break the hold of the starch, like by bending the clothes sufficiently.
Just crumple it up and.
Yeah, or
Ronnie
like
will-
maybe not, because that might make it wrinkly. But like, if there's a place where he can like lay it over there and then just slowly drag it.
Like a dollar bill before you put it in the
Exactly.
There needs to be a name for that, by the way.
Ronna's going to join you and help you with that, because
There's an area kind of where
too
it's
stiff.
like this automated like steamer area in the bath that is kind of, there's no like ladling the water for the hot rocks, but there is a kind of fountain that they steam up off of, and you figure out by standing kind of near to that and using the rock edges, you're able to loosen it up a bit, except for around the jewels.
yeah, that
Expect.
Who was it that was it? Zephyr that brought all this stuff, right? Az was gonna look for a cheat, and she's going to take the clothes that were presented to her, and she's going to put them back in the bath and get them soaked, and then take them out and say, "Zephyr, could you blow dry these real quick?"
Zephyr's like, oh dear, we put the clothes on after we get out.
I know.
Sure,
Such a silly mistake of mine.
And then comes over and takes it, and like his arms tend to like be different lengths depending on what he's trying to do at that moment. So he kind of reaches across the room, grabs it, puts it inside himself. You hear this little whirring, almost like a blow dryer. He hands it back to you and is like, "You're done with your bath?" Yes.
Yes, just thank you so much.
Okay.
And then she checks, are they now non-wrinkly but also non-starchy?
They're still a little starchy,
Progress.
like, but yeah.
I go over to Braun and go like,
Krana hasn't gotten his robe on yet.
you
He's
think we
helping.
could get walking sticks?
It seems like they would procure one if you asked for it. My question is why?
Ronnie's
Complete
gonna
look.
look and see if they have like scissors, combs, stuff like that, where he can trim his hair.
Do
It's getting a little long.
You see a little cabinet that says mortal stuff.
I go looking in there. Is there a monocle?
There is not a monocle
Damn
in
it.
there, but it does appear to be mostly like bathroom mortal stuff. There are
Yeah, I tried.
too many towels. There are like beach towels and normal towels, but no washcloths. And there's like 5 kinds of scissors and different like scrubby like soap things, but no sort of shampoo or laundry detergent. And then there's just a bunch of like bottles that just say like potions, but they all appear to be water.
Oh, Zephyr. Well, this is.
Okay, Ronnie's gonna find himself some clippers and like fix his hair. He's gonna just put a towel around himself so he doesn't get covered in it. It's all short. It's way too short.
Ron is gonna look for a ribbon that matches his sari
And,
and
Zephyr,
do like an updo.
Zephyr, this does complete the look, and it does. It's very traditionally we have these fancy canes that we use when we proceed about, in a more formal manner, and a piece of like a half kind of glasses thing. It's called a monocle. It's actually traditional that we wear those. I'd hate to break tradition since we look so. If it would be possible to procure one of those.
You've never used one of those or worn one of those. But yeah, here. And he gives you like, it's half glasses, but it's just like the top part of glasses. It's no glass. And he's like,
It's just like top hat. That's good.
Love it.
and he's like,
Close.
there, are we ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, and just then your mom kind of breezes through the door. She's dressed in a much more understated version of what you guys are wearing. It is gorgeous, but not as gaudy, and she's like, oh, it's... Yeah, okay. Are we ready for the...
I suppose so.
I like your outfit. It's.
Thank you. If I was going to be, like, on stage, I'd be dressed more like you guys, but, like,
I do
sure.
move closer to Octavia just in case, just to make sure that her drunk ass gets in
Is-
the room.
She's in the process of sobering.
Okay.
Is there something a little more understated that might be more appropriate?
Stage?
No, I'm just saying I don't need to stand out.
Stage?
So,
What?
Hey,
Stage?
I
see?
think she was just.
We're not going on stage.
Are you sure?
Yes. No, actually.
Subject. Saphir, are we going on stage?
not all of us. Just you guys. Anyway, we're going to take a break right there.
Do what now?
We'll be coming back shortly.
Refill our
Don't
mead.
go anywhere. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in a few minutes.
2, 1.
Well, it doesn't count until
I can
do it.
count too.
But
I
can you
can
count
count
backwards?
to-
I just don't want to do it right now.
It's backwards that's hard. Anyway, welcome back.
My drink's still over there.
Yeah.
You want to
Your drink.
I
toss
can't
it?
count to 3.
You can count to 2 and 1. That's pretty close.
He is right. So when you gotta count backwards, that's the problem. Damn those police.
I do.
Okay.
Christian thinks I have cooties.
No, the cat. There we go.
You don't know I have cooties.
So
you
back
haven't
to the
seen my medical
stage,
records.
DM.
Yeah, so apparently we're gonna be on stage.
Here's the DM. Spyro is already like most of the way to the door before you even have time to react, and she stops in front of the door and she's like, and Zephyr's like, sorry, he like drops everything, runs over there, no fun's up the door, and she's like, are we ready? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's give it this.
What?
For what exactly?
We're walking downstairs.
What are we expected to do on the stage?
Just, stuff you've already done, right? Like, I don't know, what is the story of how you got here?
I mean, what?
This will be fine.
Okay, all right, we're just gonna play it by ear.
You seem confused. You survived before, so I just thought.
Oh.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Are we about to see another wind demon and a cadre of weird skeletal?
It also means that
people?
we're about to find an Obelix again.
Absolutely not.
You sound ghastly. And she
Thank
just
you.
kind of snaps her fingers. You're stone cold sober. So all your nerves kind of come back. And
Just starts crying.
I'm gonna come over and
like-
offer to.
that's better. We don't lubricate our faces around here. But whatever you need, dear. Let's go.
I'm just gonna like hand you a tissue.
I'm just gonna point out that out of character, I love her.
It's really funny.
Lubricate our faces.
She walks out and she's walking downstairs.
Begrudgingly following.
Yep.
Ronnie, are we doing this?
It depends on what this is. I am not sure what we're doing.
Zephyr's at the door and he's like, you guys have fun!
I think we're saying
Thank
yes
you,
or no
Zephyr.
before we know.
Thank you,
The stairs will be different going down.
What?
In what way?
Well, like
Slide?
up, you put your foot up.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Zephyr.
You guys walk out. Start floating down or walking down the stairs. You get one story down. She's like, here we are. Okay. Yes, yes. And she just kind of busts through this huge door.
Like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
No, that's what the Earth Djinn will do.
Yeah.
There's no doors. They're just busting through walls all the time.
Yep.
Self-healing walls.
Yeah.
You walk in, and it is just very, very opulent. It's this huge room. There's already like lots of food and steaming every kind of food you can imagine. It looks like the table in Hook when he finally sees the food, because he's been like, there's nothing to eat, and then it's just like overflowing with all this stuff. It's like that, but in every square inch, and every Jin seems to have like 3 feet of like whatever, and they're just kind of looking at it, and sure enough there's a big lit stage on the other end, and it's like Sapphire is like, welcome, there will be an evening of events, and do you guys want to eat first or after?
Always.
Yeah, let's eat first.
If we
We'll eat first.
we might not have time to let our stomachs settle. We might want to wait till after.
I'm sorry, your stomach needs to what?
Also, we just ate. We just ate.
They will eat
There was an
first
appetizer.
anyway. Yes, at the
You just want to get
table of honor, and you look across, and it's just like it's like a folding table. It's still
It's
not
a
that
kiddie
much
table.
food, but yeah, it's massive amount of food.
Sons of bitches, we got the
Folding
kitty table.
Yeah,
The
and
guest table. Guest of honor.
the
My
corporeal
ass.
table.
Out of character, my ass.
the
I'll be at that
chairs
table,
are all
damn it.
labeled, the folding chairs with your names on them, and all the food is carefully labeled, and there are instructions for eating.
texture.
Like fork, knife.
Alphonse
you
will just
put
take
the
those
food
instructions.
in your mouth a little at a time.
Unless you're out raw.
Knife
Yeah.
for cutting food.
Grabs a chicken.
Vaguely labeled with how like spicy or warm or flavorful it might be. There's like a whole bunch of bananas that say you take off the outside first.
This is
Do
great.
they label each banana?
This is also a banana.
They don't label each one, but you do notice a lot of repetition in like bananas. More bananas. Bananas. Not different from those over there.
Alabama's probably doing what I could only describe as constantly eating.
I appreciate that someone got a hold of the label maker and labeled everything.
It is a little like a person with like OCD was like, this is...
Maybe at some point you'll see him go like, and it's a label.
Surprised you
On
didn't.
the chicken. Interesting.
With a mouthful of food. That would be gross.
So yeah, you eat,
Truly.
a lot of them don't seem that invested in eating. Some of them are, and are kind of like, Sapphira's kind of circling the room and comes up to you guys eventually and is like, are you ready?
Has there been any like interim performance going on stage while we've been eating?
No.
No. Okay.
Let's get this over with,
You
shall we?
get this more and more like hushed feeling of like anticipation, like they're like, we're just supposed to eat and not watch a video. Like, what is happening
Yeah.
here?
Like, all right.
I'll
True
ask
ADHD. They
her-
can't eat until something's on the TV.
I'll ask her. I'm like, oh, what sort of, what sort of entertainment are we expected to provide?
Oh, well, it's like a celebration, right? Like, I won in that, you're the first of our little subgroups, my offspring, to make it here.
Called it.
And with only the single push in the early on, so, you know, I win.
What?
Huh?
Push?
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't, not physically. Sometimes a push can be like, kind of
Sure.
like influence,
Okay. Okay.
like in your mind.
What was the?
Yes, Mom.
Ronnie, do you know
Sure.
what she's talking about?
Just slides
Yeah.
Octavia a little thing of me. Just
Okay. No
You've
need
been
to elaborate.
communicating with your mother.
Communicating might be a strong word, but we have communicated.
but it's just
That's the word.
Yes. That's
No,
the
no,
exact
no.
word.
The ing implies ongoing communication.
Hello.
Hi, Rizzo.
You're a
Oh,
jackass
hello.
cat.
Yeah, she's just chilling.
Aww.
Love cats.
Jason, it's familiar.
She just really loves being on top of the chair.
We've communicated, but you're not communicating.
Sapphire goes, just the once. And if you don't get caught, don't mention that, maybe.
Huh.
You look confused. Are you trying to remember your lines?
Well, we were not sure whether we were supposed to be regaling you with tales or whether there was some kind of demonstrations expected.
Are we reenacting something that has already happened to us?
Unless you can reenact something that's going to happen. That would be quite interesting for most mortals.
Well, we've
Do you
lived,
have a play like that?
Play?
I believe a dream perhaps is that.
I
But
can tell
we're getting
you
lost
what
in the
a dream
weeds.
I had one time.
Isn't that your whole thing? Is you look into the future and you see different things.
I don't look into the future.
Well, that's your dream, certainly.
Yeah, I mean,
This
you can,
one sometimes,
for sure.
but
They're not
it's quite garbage at interpreting them, if I've seen
Altering fate is
correctly.
Oh, we
different.
just to regale you with,
Not exactly
with
clear.
our
Look at
adventures.
her.
Yes.
Clarity is overrated.
I've decided
It's
so.
about being in touch.
Anyway,
Like, you know, she's not maybe technically wrong, but it is the least helpful thing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
So are we've lived entire lives. What particular moment were you hoping for us to repeat?
Well, just the parts after you got together as a group.
Alabroth downs some mead.
Oh no.
Done.
She goes, as far as I know, mortals like poop, yes? So probably not those parts for sure.
We got together and then she
Pooping
came
is
and then
like-
she left and then she came back.
Why don't we save that story for the stage?
How long do you expect this performance to last?
Oh, we're
Alabroth.
garbage at interpreting all that.
Alabroth is going towards the stage.
My interpretation
God.
is this could take 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm already moving towards the stage, Dan.
Ronnie is going to like look for like a triple shot of straight alcohol that he can give Octavia.
There is alcohol on the table. It says alcohol, and then it has like the skull and crossbones for poison underneath so that you guys won't accidentally, I don't know if you're old enough. And then it says, it has several numbers written that's like, and then it says years old, but they don't have a bar for how old you should be, so it says like 2000. And then it's crossed out, and then it's like 3. It's crossed out. Eventually, right now, it says like 20 to 105. You don't really know how they're isolating these numbers, but they're trying.
Trial and error is my assumption.
Yeah, so
3-year-old did not like the whiskey.
he's gonna basically get like a highball glass, fill the whole thing, and be like, "You need this."
So as I get on this stage,
I'm.
it's too late.
She's watching.
You don't need that.
You go up on the stage. There is a curtain. I don't know if you go in front or behind.
Well, of course I step out. I need to regale them with tales of our greatness.
Good, we gotta go stop him.
It's too late.
I don't think we're stopping him. I think we're joining him.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, and Ronnie doesn't have alcohol. He has no idea how much is too much.
I
Right
join.
before you get to half, Sapphira's like, "Oh, I think that's good," and the rest of the liquid in your glass disappears. It's up to you how
That's
tipsy
fantastic.
you are.
Thank you very much.
So as I take the stage, and just greetings, everyone. I am Alabroth Jarud of Clanjarud, gently pushing Azra back with my tail. Yes. Even at a young age, I realized that I desired adventure and wanted to experience greatness in helping those as dictated by Bahamut. So I set about in the world and assembled a team of warriors to also share in this glory that I would be amassing. Just to
Right about
toss it
this
out a bit.
time, you see them start like turning back to each other and talking.
Performance check. Oh wait, I got a zero on that.
Performance, and then insight from Ronnie, and not performance from you, but insight from both of
Insight?
the two of you. Yeah.
16.
13. Not amazing insight on that.
It's not a crazy high roll, but it's not super low. You immediately get the impressions that, like, it's like how a certain ex-president, if he didn't see his name a lot, wouldn't be interested in what it said.
Oh, they want people to tell them about their selves.
Somehow.
Oh.
Ronnie will be like,
I've got this. Thank you.
You step on, as you guys step on stage, they give, go ahead.
This is really. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just write on it in Alabroth's spine, not trying to hurt him, but I'm gonna do stunning strike just to stun him for 6 seconds.
Roll a
No, absolutely
sleight
not.
of hand check.
No. No, she may not.
You don't get to say right now.
I get some saying if she can hit me.
14.
Ah! Sucker.
Perception check from Alabroth.
Deception?
Perception.
Oh, perception.
There's
You're-
gonna be
You're
a-
so screwed on this.
It
also
will take
don't
a
have your
couple of
armor.
rolls.
Yeah, you're not gonna have your
but
armor on.
That is true.
Perception, I rolled a 16.
I
So
wanted that to work.
Same.
roll an attack roll with
I would like to hear
Yes.
my tail.
That's a 19 plus 7, I think.
The disadvantage was 19?
Oh, so sorry. No.
Okay.
With disadvantage, that's
Still a really good hit.
I am.
8, so it's still a 17.
without your armor.
I don't know what my armor class is out with my armor.
It's just going to be
hang on.
10 plus your dex. That's all it's going to be.
10 plus my dex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dex
confirmed
modifier.
17.
Oh, plus my dex modifier, 11.
Yeah.
Okay, roll a Constitution saving throw.
19.
That is about it, I believe.
So basically, she just hit me.
I didn't cause any damage.
Excuse you?
It does seem to throw him off his game a bit.
Did you just strike me?
I could technically do it 2 more times in 6 seconds.
Can I grab her hand?
I don't think it's your turn.
Oh,
Without rolling initiative, I don't think.
That's absolutely fair.
But it does interrupt him.
Yeah.
inflict wounds, level 5. I'll tell you not. No. I'm not going to inflict wounds.
Shira
Only
has a
level
look
1.
of consternation on her face.
She'll be
like,
fine.
Fine, let him speak.
You hear
And
from the
now
audience
for that,
like a...
that great warrior I spoke of.
Right.
Ronnie
hear
will
Sophia?
step up. Like, esteemed attendees, thank you so much for hosting us.
They're like, oh, you're nice. Like, oh, they're doing it again. Okay.
Allow me to introduce my party and friends who have helped me get here. You've already met Alabroth Jarud of Clan Jarud. This is Octavia of the Order of the Kestrel Dawn. This is Azra. A skilled wizard and divinator.
Divinator?
Divination.
Whatever. I didn't say that in character.
Diviner?
Diviner. And this is
Brana?
this is Brana. What? I don't know who. Doran. An Asimar rogue of skill and dexterity. I am Ronnie, the son of Saphira, and I will gesture to her out in the crowd.
And you hear, well, roll a performance check.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not that high. You're talking about them.
I didn't even get this open yet. Hold on.
Oh, ignore him. He's a liar.
He's got a
Is that
toy.
Eli?
No, it's Rizzo.
She's a liar.
She brought a carrot into the kitchen to cry.
Very angry about something.
I mean,
Did she bring the carrot in
deserves
here?
to be angry about not being allowed to stay up on the back of the chair for however long she felt like.
She is coming back to try it again, I think.
Performance. Let's try that.
and they thought I was bad.
That's a funny net 20, right?
Do you want to give me advantage on this for playing to their ego?
Sure.
So you're a nice and benevolent man.
Also, hold on.
Not much better.
Can I retroactively give Ronnie guidance?
I'm gonna say no because you
Damn
are
it!
so caught up in you.
Yeah.
I was gonna get
It's
to
only
y'all
gonna be
eventually.
like a 7.
There, you look out at a sea of like, kind of perplexed, but not entirely unwilling to, like, engage faces as they're like,
I mean, it doesn't help that I couldn't remember Brana's name, so I just like took a while.
they're like, okay, and Saphira goes,
Now, as I see that Ronnie is dying, I do kind of, you've got this guidance cantrip.
What does
Add a
guidance
add a
give me?
D4 to any.
roll a group performance check now, and you do have guidance.
Oh
All of us have guidance?
Nope.
no, only Ronnie. I can only do one.
What?
Oh, Ronnie, I'm so sorry.
Fuck.
16.
Nice.
Octavia's gonna be a tree. And I rolled a 19 minus 1. So it would be a great tree.
I rolled a 10. And I'm just kind of
Before I roll, I'm
Will
considering
smithing.
Will Smith.
I'm considering using a portent.
I think somebody should.
I'm just gonna give myself a 17, which becomes a 19.
Okay. You kind of look at, you're kind of like, I'm not sure how this goes, and you glance at Saphira, and Saphira goes, props. And kind of gestures behind the curtain.
Oh,
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
heading back and
Yeah.
grabbing anything
Everything
I see.
from your whole life like, that since you guys started your journey together. There's a big, like, gooey Obelix thing. There's a rack of books. There's like these little ice dragons. There's a bunch of like backup spirits that can like illusion themselves.
Thanks,
and
jackass.
they're like, what are we doing?
Hi, Rizzo.
Okay, she can change
Into what?
anything.
They immediately all become trees.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna stage manage for the most part.
I'm just going to
Ronnie's
carry things
sending,
out.
like
Ron-
our adventure stuff.
Yeah, Ronnie is going to take your notebook so that he can remember the order everything happened in.
Yeah.
And he will focus mostly on, like, things that he has done as well as he can, because he's not very good at focusing on himself.
Yeah.
And will play up super big all the times that he's received any implication of guidance from his mother.
I'm gonna
No, because she said to keep that a secret. So you don't want to imply that.
You don't want to play. You know you don't want to play where she actually talked.
No. I'm not the
But
time
the
she
rest.
actually talked to me, but like
okay.
me, like feeling the wind shift direction as though calling me toward her.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna start with. I'm gonna send spiders because that was our first fight. Then I'm gonna send the changeling. Then I'm gonna.
Azure goes for smoke break.
Yeah.
Braun is helping get the props ready.
Start.
I'll just carry it across the stage. I already rolled a damn 3. So.
With 3 of you above 15, which was the DC to do a good performance. You actually like after the initial moments of panic, you're actually like, okay.
eventually, Ronnie gets the hang of making sure to inhale enough to continue talking.
You guys start pulling off quite the performance about the time that they seem to be pretty fascinated, and you kind of go at your own pace, so you'll have to tell me how long you think this takes.
I mean, even going quickly, it's probably going to take 2 hours ish?
I mean, it's taken us 3.5 years. So, pretty quickly.
When we were doing it here at the table, that was in real time. The entire adventure. We're abbreviating now.
We're on
Ronnie
36.
will, like, briefly look aside to his mother and be like, should we perform magic up here? Or is...
Absolutely. Just say the words,
so-
guiding bolts.
You feel like you sent out a few vibes to her to get her to approach it before she actually gets it, but eventually she kind of comes up and it's like, kind of sidles up to the edge of the stage, like, sure, if you want, like, whatever you have.
Do magic.
I've got one spell. I can go invisible.
I am, because again, stage managing, I can push and pull people up to 5 feet with a bonus action. I can push and pull people 5 feet with a bonus action. So, yeah, if anybody's supposed to be very quickly moving, I'm going to put them on like the people movers that you see on the airport at the airport.
I love
that kind
those.
of shit. Yeah.
Conveyor belt, essentially.
Yeah.
You do that about like an hour and a half in by the time like you get to Nimbo. Like Nimbo comes backstage and he sees the guy kind of dressed as him and is like, he's like, I'm here to play me, I guess, in the loudest stage whisper you've ever heard.
Sure.
I will have to ask, or get someone else to ask for me. Stage manager. What is his mother's name?
Oh shit, my notes.
Mother's name?
Crap.
It's in my notes, but I don't have all my
Yeah.
notes. He tells you.
Yeah.
Okay. I will try and suss out from Saphira whether it is appropriate to mention his or her name.
It's definitely fine.
Oh crap, I don't have my notebook.
I don't think we've ever heard Nimbo's name, so it's fine.
We've heard Nimbo's name.
Or, sorry, Nimbo's mom's
He
name.
told you his mom's name at some point, I think. But
Yeah, it's fine. We'll fudge
yeah,
it.
definitely.
Okay.
It's kind of weird I can't find my notebook.
Yeah, so whenever appropriate, Ronnie will do his new favorite spell, which is where he shoots lightning arrows.
And a big old
And
Obelix that looks like Wobba Fett. You just kind of like, boom, 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 boom.
yeah, well, he thinks that will be exciting for them because he has shocking grasp as a result of being in air genasi. So
You do hear little like oohs and ahs of like recognition whenever it's something heritage related that kind of makes you whatever, and you're like, so you guys tell the story of you as close and as much as you can. Nimbo kind of helps you do some of the oratory like stuff, but it rolled pretty well, so he doesn't like step all over you the whole time or anything. And yeah, like, how do you think it ends?
probably with the
Got a new spell called Flame Strike. We can use that to simulate the volcano.
Oh, yeah.
the daring escape from the erupting volcano up to the city in the clouds, and approaching the marvelous here where we are.
Castle of Steel and Stone.
The castle in the sky.
Ice and Steel.
Yeah.
And the beautiful fascination of the fabulous realm that they live in, and the splendor of all the jinn.
They definitely perk up when you start talking about their home and the whole place and whatever, and how resplendent their home is, and they're like, oh yes, I did part of that. This is partly me and, my interns that are helping. And you guys finish there's erupting applause, and somebody brings out, like, one of the little, like, players that has been helping you out, brings out, like, a bunch of leis, these nice little beautiful flowers, and then walks over and presents them all to Saphira, puts them on, and it's like, and that is how they came to our home. And I took first prize after Nimbo's mom. I won this time, and yes, and they will thank you for coming to our production. And
Congratulations to the beautiful and marvelous Saphira.
and she just kind of glows, and you feel very, like, satisfied. And everybody cheers, and
everyone clapped.
yeah, everyone clapped, and a bunch of them gather around Saphira. And you guys kind of, and Nimbo's like, we can just
Big fuck.
He's like, oh yeah, I didn't know they would do that, but it makes sense. The first time I came up here, I guess that did happen, but I thought only one person won, or one of them won.
Anyone else feel like they went to the circus and they were the actual show?
Yeah.
I wasn't anticipating. I'm guessing that your mom and mine are not like in the same friend group.
Friend group's a tricky concept for.
Is friendship like a
I'm
weird?
sorry, what direction was the alcohol? I could really use one.
It's everywhere, but the table also is probably restocked with food if you're hungry again.
Going down.
Are we allowed to sit at a different table, or are we supposed to stick to that one?
I mean, you can try.
That phrasing makes me think I'm not going.
Yeah, the alcohol's here.
So soon after, the rest of them start kind of like shuffling out, and
Ronnie will sit next to Octavia and be like, "You did so good.
Thank you.
You're very welcome."
As if you had some production experience of some sort. For someone that claims to be so awkward, you certainly took charge in a production aspect.
I'm a top.
I'm so sorry. No, she doesn't say
Give it gap.
Same day she can't.
Octavia always does well with a clear goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I know what to do, I suppose.
Yeah, if the adventuring doesn't work out, perhaps a career in theater would.
And thank you, Ronnie, for taking the lead on the performance there.
First off,
Thanks.
You saved the production and probably our heads.
secondly off,
And
You
so
made
brave of you to be
Tom-
the first one on stage and really, like, kicking this into gear.
thirdly, you bastard,
Alabroth, what was one of the things that Nemo made very clear to us when we got here?
I was getting to that. I just need
That's
more
they-
build-up time.
That they are the focus, not us.
I
And you made
beg
it
you.
all about yourself.
Watch your hair.
Again, if you touch my hair, I will stab you. Octavia knows I'll do it.
I feel like the circumstances were different in that case.
I did ask you.
Well, if you take his hair, you'll be asking for it.
Yeah, I've not that you're not a very skilled orator, but
Catch a fireball.
you don't look like you're related to any djinn, which automatically makes you less interesting to people who only care about themselves.
Sapphire comes back over. Most of the people have kind of shuffled out, and for a second you think you might see her drop the exterior. She's dressed in like more casual clothes already. Didn't appear to have a change. She comes back, her shoulders are a little hunched, and she goes, "So, are we spending the night, I suppose? Are we?"
That sounds lovely.
Okay, well, they've all gone to the affirmations area where they can hear, after gin, like, we need to hear nice things about ourselves before we go to bed. And,
This is the fucking hallway from Succession at Ken's birthday party.
Oh, God.
pretty much.
That's exactly what it is.
We're all shuffled around there. You know, like, you guys did wonderful work, but they do also have to hear things about. We all need to hear good things about ourselves sometimes. So, yes. And you guys are like, didn't we just... haven't we? Okay. And she's like, it's across the hall. Would you like to
Sure.
go? They'll probably tell you nice things about yourself as well.
Sure, that sounds lovely.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. And you guys walk across. There wasn't another door there before, but all of a sudden there's no staircase. There's just a solid floor, and there's a door that looks exactly like the door to the banquet hall across the room. You guys head over there, and she's like, were you spent on magic? Is there anything you require for...
I think Azra probably
Evening.
contributed with like a wall of fire during the volcano eruption.
Yeah, you notice that your things weren't producing, like, damaging type effects.
Unless they had an armor
kind
you
of
could
It's
assume.
like all illusions of our normal magic, basically. Interesting.
But you don't feel as depleted either. And you suspect they're just kind of magic it into being illusions, and you probably... I will say you guys are probably missing half your first levels if you're casters. But it basically transferred things into illusion magic.
Interesting.
No, I feel fine. Some mingling sounds fun.
So you guys go across the hall, and you kind of... she pauses right before the door, and you don't know, like, what she's doing, and then she, like, bursts through it as loud as... ostentatiously and as Kool-Aid-ish as she can handle. And you guys get into the next corridor, and you're looking around, and it does seem like there's a lot of spirits, like, lined up kind of to maybe do whatever, and they're like, but you notice there's a weird commotion in the room. Like, it's not this dull hum, it's gotten considerably louder. And you kind of look around and look at Sphera, and she just kind of, like, holds up a finger for a minute, and then she's like, apparently something quite significant is happening more in the, like, mortal areas of the planet. I don't know. I don't know, they'll figure it out, or they won't.
I'm sorry.
Have you heard what's going on?
Not really. Some sort of fight.
Azra would like to cast Detect Thoughts and just start walking around the room trying to piece together what's happening based on what these people know.
Okay.
They're deities and such.
I mean, they're spirits,
So
deities.
mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll.
And they don't get to make a save.
I don't even know that you need to roll for this. Their thoughts are very much, like, centered on themselves.
Of course.
In that they're like, what's happening? Some argument or something is maybe about to happen. And then, oh no, does this affect me? Does this affect my standing? Am I going to lose status? Whatever. And she's like, apparently whatever it is hasn't even all the way happened yet. But they don't seem to have clear pictures because they don't seem to care.
So they're just hearing that something is happening and then that's it.
Yeah,
They
it's
have
kind
no
of
other
like, is
details.
that going to bring other people here? You gather that there's something happening that's on they keep saying, like, or keep reflecting, like, mainland, so you guess it's still the continent that you're on.
I would like to scry.
Okay. Who are you going to scry on?
Changeling.
Five is not going to do it.
Oh.
Damn
I was like,
straight.
So,
Good, it's bad.
yeah.
you
Had
guys...
to beat an
It was good
18.
for us.
Most people leave pretty fast, so it's not hard for you to find a quiet corner. You start setting up, and a spirit kind of wanders over and goes, "You're not a djinn or anything, but you have good qualities, I assume?
Yes, yes.
You're tall. What are you doing here? Some sort of magic?"
I'm going to scry on a person that we are aware of. And
Right, okay. Well, good job. Good for you.
Thank you. How nice of you to notice.
And it just kind of nods confusingly and wanders off. And comes up to the next one of you and it's like, "Are you doing any
Better
magic?"
Better.
I don't have any magic really. Well, hold on. Invisibility.
It goes, "Yes, normal people couldn't see you. Very good. Good for you." It kind of walks around as Alabra setting up and is just like, "What
Yeah, so
could
crystal
you do
ball
that I
out.
could compliment you for?" And it comes up to Ronnie at some point and goes, "You're more like them than anyone else, so better. You're better than your companions. Congratulations." And walks off.
Thank you.
Let's
It's
see.
kind
only
of
get
this
one level.
wafy, although short, little, like, vaguely... It's kind of like a monochromatic human-looking thing, but the longer you look at it, then you're like, "This is creepy."
So I only get one level 5 spell. Now I'm deciding between scrying and, I don't know, guiding bolt. No. What? No. White eyes, scry, and you said that the changeling did not fail? I mean, did not
succeed.
Did not pass. Okay. Within 10 feet of them, 10 feet of the target, I can see and hear what's going on.
You notice you're in a place that, while not as, like, opulent as this environment, is a pretty opulent looking place, and you seem to have caught the changeling mid some sort of speech. And he says, it's in the middle somewhere, and kind of trails on as you clarify yours, and he's like, "So yes, it's going to be very difficult after this. You know, we just started working out all our differences, but as the heir apparent and king of Strassus, I believe we have to start this war in earnest again. It is sad that so many of us were taken out by the dragon, but
What?
at least I have my sons again."
What form is the changeling? Because I can see it's a sensor near them. What form is the changeling?
I think
It's
you know.
like a dwarf
Yep.
that you recognize as it crystallizes into focus. He's like, "Hopefully the dragon doesn't come back, but we will do what we must. We always have."
I know y'all can't see this, but Albroth,
Yeah.
y'all can't see what's happening, but Albroth's teeth are like bared and growling almost.
I think Azra probably with all the mind reading hears,
I mean,
like
you can
senses
save-
that like his
You
anger.
can save it. I'm gonna tell everybody. It's,
Oh, I know. I'm just Azra notices that Alabroth is like raging over in a corner. Is like, what's going on?
Yeah, as soon as you kind of center, you're like, "Oh, this is an emergency," which is actually convenient because you have a minute if you think it occurs to her
I don't even
to
need to-
grab your allies and be like, "Whatever, when he comes out, this is
yeah,
something."
it only lasts 10 minutes, so
I mean, I stayed nearby.
You catch him
Azra
basically.
like whistles and starts bolting towards Alabroth.
Basically, you see the number of the people doesn't exactly match the number, like the campfires, but you see. Oh, roll an insight check for me, but within 10 feet, there's not a ton of people.
Thank you.
Oh, me rolling insight check? Okay. Let's see. What is my insight check? You know what? Good dice. I'm gonna try that again.
You're not trying to skip it across the water here.
Nice.
28.
I was doing great with my average of 17. So, you do see some people, like, it would be weird if, like, Jira and all of them had made no progress. There is suspicion on a couple of faces of a backing guard are behind the king. But most of them are holding it in pretty well. It wouldn't be obvious. But you track at least a couple of them are not sure this is who he says he is. So that's something. And
You convey all of this to us?
I'm going to tell all of you. We messed up. He took the form of the king.
Oh, bloody.
We have to tell Jira now.
What was the name that the king was going under whenever we were traveling? Did Jira know it? I think he did.
Jira knew the king's name, but not where he is.
Yeah, he knew the name he was traveling under.
I forget what it is. It's in my big notebook that I don't have, but yes.
Is Gadrid the name of the king, or
Delric's the name of the king.
Gadrid is what he was going under,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I'll get out the sending stone. Jira. Scrying revealed the target disguised as Sir.
What was it, Gadrid?
Gadrid.
Gadrid.
Gadrid. Be on guard.
And I'll also give him directly what I heard. He means to begin war.
Oh, yes. I will also say. He means to begin war anew.
You hear this. That's how. Copy that. You guys need to be here as soon as you can. I believe you had methods.
Oh, it was Lord Audubon.
Okay,
Well,
Lord
yeah.
Audubon.
Good.
Sure, and that's what the name was then.
Yeah.
Edit
that.
And he goes, yeah, editor, post. It goes,
Oh wait, that's you.
Yeah.
you guys, we need your help as soon as you can. So please, when you can, anyone that can be here. There may be multiple fights.
And he has the king's sons.
Are we sure?
We don't know that.
We don't
He
know
said
if
he did.
But they could also be changelings as well.
We already sent the message. So.
Yep.
He had access to the children.
He did, but do you think they'd be acting calm up there on the stage? I'm assuming.
Did
well,
they even see the
well-
kids on the stage?
You are
He
not
just mentioned it.
entirely familiar with what they look like.
We also
Would
only
they be?
saw within 10 feet of the changeling.
Okay, gotcha.
If
Also,
they're
the
not
dragon
right by him.
may have attacked.
Sounds like it did.
Well, Jira would know if the dragon attacked. He's down there.
It seems like
There were
Jira should know
multiple
if.
fights. You don't know yet.
Okay, well. We need to go
Yep.
right away.
And that's where we're going to leave off for this one. For joining us at SCNS Live and was playing D&D. And of course, you had to expect a cliffhanger.
That doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, I love when you do it. It's my favorite. Thank you for joining us. Come back in a couple of weeks for more SCNS Plays D&D. And as we always like to say around here, keep on
on
nerding.
nerding.
Love the